is good, people? JB Illusion here, fresh off of watching episode 3 of season 5 of Samurai Jack, and Gendy is a master storyteller. I really like all of the techniques used to convey not only Jack's emotions, but just little hints about the characters, and I thought that was really amazing. So, let's first talk about spoilers. I'm going to do something new. We're going to be talking about the whole episode, everything, plus spoilers. So if you're not, interested in spoilers, if you haven't seen it, yes, that's my ghost chair. If you have not seen it, I implore you to go watch it now and then watch this, because I would really like you to watch this. Anyhow, this episode starts off with Jack, kind of just careening, just floating in the river. We all know that he got rocked by the Daughters of Aku last episode. Well, the former 7, now 6. And he's hurt. He's shook. We all know that. Last episode, they had him running. He was, dare I say, frightened. So he got injured, and, we've seen Jack, I feel, take harder hits. We've seen him blasted by Aku. We've seen him go up against the 3 blind archers, but there was something different about this battle. Maybe it had to do with the fact that it was a human opponent that Jack, took out. Spoiler. But he's just resting on this log, and you see he's out of it. This little creature pops out of the water, looks at Jack. Jack looks at the frog, and it says, "They're coming!" And he immediately flips out. So whether or not this is something mental with Jack, or whether or not that is a creature that is there specifically to tell Jack to warn him, not sure. I'm pretty sure it was just his mental state, boiling out into the world, which it has done pretty much for the last 2 episodes, including this one. So, what I found interesting about this episode, I've talked about, a bunch of different things, but I've never really talked about the weird green samurai? Yeah, the green samurai. So, does anyone else think that this is something that's calling out to Jack, that's helping him along his journey? Now, I know this is going to sound stupid. Maybe it's me just going overboard because I think Gendy's a genius. But it kind of reminds me of the Green Knight? Maybe that's just because of the color green. But in Arthurian lore, the Green Knight was a knight who challenged others to see that if they were worthy, and then they would go, I believe it was, talk to the Lady of the Lake. What makes me think that Jack's sword is calling out to him? Maybe Jack's sword has its own green samurai that Jack will eventually fight for the right to wield the sword. Yeah, I know. So crazy. There's also a white wolf. We saw in the last episode that there was a white wolf who kind of mimicked Jack. He had a battle against vicious alien tigers, and Jack had a battle against vicious soldiers of Aku. Now, what is interesting is Jack somehow managed to, after floating downstream, get into a cave, huddle up, and he was hurt. I want to say he had a fever dream, but really his psyche has been, as I've said before, boiling out into these episodes more and more and more. We see Jack just on the ground, shaking. He's hurt. He's obviously very sick. Is this going to be the end of Samurai Jack? And then you see his own reflection of himself. It was a very, very warped image of Jack, which I really loved. And he's just mocking him. Come on, Jack. You've lived through more than this. What is it? Is it the fact that they were beating you down so badly, or is it the fact that you killed that girl? We have a mountain of robot corpses for the last 50 years we built up, but that's the first human we've ever killed. Come on, Jack, get up. Or do you want them to kill you? That was awesome. I really love the fact that we got that, because that is kind of a question. Gendy is reinforcing, because we've seen Samurai Jack go through some stuff like I've said before, but it's kind of this mental battle that we know he's going through that kind of brings more light to it. There's a little bit less conjecture from us. So The interesting thing about this is we know that Jack is struggling at this point. Like, he's weak. He mentally might want this to be the end. But the crazy thing is, the White Wolf showed up. Now, I will say something about this episode. Gendy blew his entire blood allowance. I'm almost certain that Toonami Cartoon Network was like, okay, you can use blood, you're on later now, just don't go overboard. And he just blew the budget in this entire episode. The wolf shows up and manages to help Jack. They have this kind of like odd relationship where they're nursing, well, really, where the wolf is nursing Jack back to health. It kind of reminds me of Berserk. I know, as crazy as that sounds, Guts had a very similar situation, and he had to be nursed back to health, or well, nurse someone else back to health. So this wolf didn't just help Jack recover, but it reminded him of the past. There was this very interesting go back with Samurai Jack when he was a child. So I really like the fact that Samurai Jack as a child does not speak. Gendy, he conveys so much without speaking. We see Jack, just having a nice day with his parents. They're in a carriage, and then suddenly, the Fire Nation did not attack, but some dudes attacked and wiped out Jack's father's guards. So they call out, "Emperor, come out here so you can face your doom." And Jack's dad, we know he's a boss. I don't understand why anyone would try to fight him after what he did to Aku, but he goes out there and he gives them an ultimatum. You guys can leave now, and we could squash this, or we could fight. And they chose to fight, and they died. Jack, I can understand why he kind of like blocked this memory out, because it was pretty dang violent. Jack's dad did not pull any punches, or well, sword strokes. And as he's still continuing to heal up, the wolf eventually, after Jack does heal, just pieces out, deuces. I really do feel like that wolf, there's something to that wolf. Like there is something to the Green Samurai. So, as the wolf is leaving, Jack has another flashback where, his father is talking to him after the battle, and he says something along the lines of, "Everyone chooses their path, son. And you have to reap the consequences of that choice." So, it seemed to like give Jack a new sense of purpose, a new meaning. Gendy, throughout the course of 5 seasons we're now on, Jack has been beaten. He's been bruised. He's been thrown around, thrown off cliffs, really tortured by Aku for 50 years. And he's always found a way to come back. And this is a new way that I feel Gendy has brought back Samurai Jack to his quest. And I really like that there's still new ways that he can make Samurai Jack an underdog, or someone who's just ready to give up, but through sheer something, he's able to come back. And then, we get the daughters of Aku in this episode. Their sister's dead, and they just drag her body out, and they're just like, well, she was weak, let's go kill the samurai. And that's really what happened. They didn't care about her, she was weak, so whatever. As they're hunting down Jack, we see more and more. I feel like I pity the daughters of Aku now. When Jack was a child, he was trained by multiple masters, but he still had a childhood. These girls, these ladies, these women did not. They don't know about things. They came to a doe, since we're spoilers everywhere, a doe in the woods, and they didn't know what it was. Mother said there would be strange creatures out here. They were awestruck. And then they saw a stag, horns everywhere, and one of the daughters remarked, "That is one of Aku's chosen. It will just eat this doe. Survival of the fittest." And instead, the stag showed compassion to the doe. And compassion was such a foreign concept to them. We've gone in one scene from hating the Daughters of Aku, thinking that they're monsters, to realizing that they're really, really bad. They've never had any form of compassion before. And that's just, yeah, kind of sad. But then we get the confrontation between them and Jack. So, Jack, in the background, hidden, blind to all the world, tells them, he gives them this ultimatum that they can leave now or face him and die. And then they said that their fate is to kill him. So be it. And Jack held no punches. He went in. He was certain of what he needed to do, and he was taking out sisters left and right. The sisters are not as strong on defense as they are on offense. And we saw that in this episode. They did fight back. What I thought was interesting was the fact that during the fight, oh my god, the fight was amazing. Like, just watch it for the amazing use of white and black in this episode. It was really, artful. There was some artistry behind it, but it also made for a really, really entertaining fight. It kind of reminded me of the ninja episode with the white and the black, which was amazing. But anyhow, we saw that Jack, he was huffing and puffing. They were pushing him, but he continued to fight. When he ran, he did not run to escape. He ran to get a better vantage point. Eventually, it gets to the point where it's basically Jack and the last daughter of Aku, the one with the Vegeta cut. And here they are on this precipice, about to fall in a chasm. And Jack looks down at her. He can help her. And she just starts cursing him. That I will kill you, samurai. This will be your end. I will destroy you. And Jack just looks down, lets her drop. And then, sadly, Jack's foothold went from under him and he dropped. I think that that's a really awesome end to this episode. There's definitely going to be something to the doe and the stag imagery. Maybe, with Vegeta, with female Vegeta and Aku, who knows? That's what I'm assuming. But what do you guys think about Gendy's use of imagery? What do you guys think about Samurai Jack coming back stronger, about the flashbacks with his father? I thought it was really awesome. And also, tell me what you guys think about my whole green samurai idea. I kind of think that that's what's going to happen. And also tell me what you guys think about the wolf. Because what we're forgetting, what I think a lot of people forget, is that the sword was made from his father's will. Long time ago. It's super magic. I mean, it was blessed by 3 different gods of 3 different religions. For them to come together and bless a sword, for them to come together and fight a monster is ridiculous. So, it certainly has, Artorian powers. Hopefully, we can see Jack reclaim the sword and take the fight to Aku once more. Thank you guys for watching. I have been JB Illusion. If you like this, please, like it. It really does help. And if you disliked it, it's right next to the like button. Please hit me up in the comments and tell me why. Don't just dislike it and be like, oh, well, I don't like him. Please, tell me why, what I can do to improve. I'm trying. And please, comment. Tell me your thoughts and suggestions. Your theories are also very important. Tell me your theories. Anyhow, oh my god, my chair. Please be excellent to each other and have a nice day. I'm going to go buy a new chair.